post the last show, Natasha.
Sir.
You in charge of posting Oh That's Love.
Anyways.
Oh, we back? What's up, y'all? Welcome to Oh That's Love.
No, it's Oh That's Love.
No, it's more like
Oh,
That's Love. I'm the boy Kai.
And I'm Natasha, aka Tosh.
Anywho, Natasha, at this time that y'all watching, she probably just posted our first episode back. She's not very good at content management. I'm calling you out.
I personally never claimed to be. Whether or not anyone thinks I am is totally their prerogative.
Oh, okay.
You included in anyone.
Okay, that's how we doing. So today we are talking about being married on social media or in a relationship, period, and having a social media page, and how one should govern thyself or not.
Oh, this is such a good topic because, oh Lord Jesus.
I'm sure you get the questions a lot. I get the questions all the time about Natasha's ass being out.
Why you gonna just go straight? It's not just me.
About,
why you gotta go straight at me like that?
my comments under young ladies' pictures or my likes and things like that. And I think we agree that we don't really give a fuck.
No. I love that we just jumped right into this.
Yeah, we don't care.
We don't care.
And I want to make something clear that I think I've made clear before. So there was I was riding along with a friend. And said friend had another friend jump on FaceTime, and the friend I was riding with decided to call his friend out and say, "Hey, I'm with Kyrie. Why don't you ask him what you asked me?"
Shady boots, number one.
and apparently they'd had a behind the scenes conversation about Natasha's cakes being out all over her page, and how that made me feel or didn't feel, or why I was okay with it or was I not okay with it. Mm-hmm. And I don't care. That's the number one thing that I want to say. But the other thing I want to say is Natasha's Natasha. And one of the things that I don't try to do is change Natasha. I just love Natasha for being Natasha. And before I met Natasha, she had her ass out on a page. So I'm not going to ask you to change that when I get in a relationship with you. And you can speak more to this, but furthermore, we live in a different age and time where, you know, people share their whole lives on social media. And one thing that Natasha does is she always has on a bathing suit. She always travels. She works out. She keeps her body in shape. And she shows it off. And that's something that I personally have done all my life.
Right.
Minus the travel part. But I believe in. I believe like you should show off your hard work. So why are your cakes always out, Natasha?
First of all, it's not that they're always out. It's just that I'm always traveling. And I sell travel. I sell experiences.
And you were selling bathing suits at one point.
Yeah, and we still are. But nevertheless, that kind of coincides. So if most of the places that I'm traveling to are beach destinations or have dope pools, whatever the case might be, I don't think you expect me to be in jeans and a t-shirt by the beach or at the pool. So 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the bikini.
Right.
And you're going to get the bikini because I work hard for the body to have the bikini body and the beach body.
And you know what's funny to me? What's funny to me is that legit people outside of our relationship care about that shit more than we do.
Yeah, I just...
Like, when we went on our first vacation...
Oh my gosh.
It was like a Facebook uproar.
Literally.
Between...
Literally an actual uproar.
Those who will remain nameless. But it was like... People were really commenting and inboxing me about me being on a beach in a swimming pool with my woman because her ass was out. But it's like...
We are in a pool.
We're in a swimming pool.
Where else is my ass supposed to be?
What are we talking about?
I'm very confused.
And then the crazier part was like, I said to myself, so Natasha has curves. Natasha's a thick woman. If she wasn't, no one would care.
Yeah.
But the fact that she got cakes, real cakes too, these cakes is real.
All right.
The fact that she got cakes is why people were speaking up and speaking out. It's like, yo, like, that's actually a form of body shaming. If we really want to dig and deep get into it, everybody won't be so conscious of what they doing. Like,
But they won't.
if you ain't had no cakes, no one would care.
Yeah.
But because there's something there to look at, it's like Teacher Bay. Remember Teacher Bay? They jumped all on her because she's so curvy, but she teaching the kids. It's like, what I'm
What
supposed to do?
else is she supposed to wear?
what I'm supposed to wear? What I'm supposed to do?
Especially in a society or in a time period where, like, not for nothing, women are told to wear dresses and to wear skirts instead of wearing pants.
And be body positive and the whole nine.
And then you shame her for wearing the pencil skirt that you have in the what not to wear and what to wear list. I'm confused.
Right, it's because of how she looks
Exactly.
in a pencil skirt. I mean, I didn't think about that when y'all put it on the list of okay to wear.
Because
I mean, think a thick little sister was about to jump
I was
in
going to say, like, the 9 times out of 10, the person wearing it don't look like Teacher Bay.
Right.
So.
That's a fact. So switching gears to me and my nonsense on social media.
Sidebar.
What?
I definitely did my hair and forgot to put my ring back on. So if you guys are
No,
like,
she ain't
where
married.
her ring at?
I'm out here. I'm out here, ladies. Where my camera? Right here. What's up, y'all? She ain't got no ring on, so y'all already know.
Literally right
what
before the
that
show,
mean.
I was like, "Oh, I need a little bit more mousse."
No, it's cool.
So I took my
It's
ring off,
cool.
and then I forgot.
I'm out here. What's going on? DM your boy, man. Kyrie Terrell, you know what I'm saying?
See,
I'm
but
in the
again,
streets.
this is perfect because you say that.
You took your ring off, so
I took it off to do my hair, babe.
I'm out here.
Nevertheless, he says this on his social media too, and I'm always curious how people will actually react to that.
My fishing be working sometimes. You don't even realize my fishing be working.
But it's funny because, like, I have never gotten a message or anything about you being like, "Yo, what's up?"
Yes, you did.
Have I?
Remember the one you showed me? Somebody was like,
Oh no! But that wasn't like. I guess that's true. Yeah, somebody was like,
somebody was all in the toilet and ain't know the shit.
yeah, that was so ridiculous. That's another thing. Like,
Somebody came to Natasha as a woman. They don't even know I
And then
already came to her as a man.
and then they went to my trash can like a regular, like another person, because I was like, I'm not about to read all of this. And I don't care. Like, it's not like I don't care about what you're doing, but like, ma'am,
Well, it's that you know.
why would you take 8 hours of your day, because it was a long message, to type this message and go through these motions?
Right.
Like, stop doing that. Because here's the thing. What if I don't know? And I am living in my bliss of ignorance.
That's a way to look at it.
Leave me alone. Like, and there are some women that are just like, if I don't know, then I'm okay. When
Yeah.
I know, now it's a thing.
Yeah.
Now you messed up my house. Like, mind your business.
You ain't wrong, because I've been in both type of relationships. I definitely have been in relationships where, so I've always been honest. Folks that know me know I've always told the truth in my relationship. So I've been in relationships where women was like, just keep it away from me. I don't want to know, right? Our relationship is different where you say, I want to know. I don't want to be out here in the dark. So let that be a lesson. If you're going to come to Natasha as a woman, she already know. If I did anything, if I slid in your DM, if I put 3 hearts on your pictures,
Right.
if I said, babe, she got a fat ass, or whatever. I have those convos like, Natasha is legit my best friend, male or female. I could talk about anything with this lady, right? And I do mean anything.
And if your ass is fat, I probably liked your picture
She probably
too.
liked it too.
Because
I
go
probably
off,
showed
sis.
her.
Go off,
Like,
sis.
Shorty be throwing Jones in my DM. Like, who is this?
She killed it today. Like, I'm going to give you your flowers. I'm going to big you up. It is what it is. Like, that's just the nature of social media. Isn't that why we're on there?
Right.
We're on there to share some great images, some great videos, to tell a story, whatever the case might be. And I'm going to like your picture. My fiance's going to like your photo. Like, that's what you came on here to do. I don't understand why we're all like, oh my gosh,
Right.
they're together. Like, no.
And it's
The
important.
internet is for that reason.
What you said though is important, right? Because it's important to know your partner in that regard, right? So I don't want it to come off like we're saying do what we do, because that works for us, right? You have to know who you're dealing with, and
Right.
I think when it comes to social media etiquette within a relationship, you have to understand who you're dealing with, right? So some women do see a like as disrespect. And if you, sir, are the type of gentleman who wants to like, I think you have to have that conversation early in your relationship as to what that means and what that looks like and what's the disrespectful line not to cross,
Absolutely.
rather than just jump into the world of,
Well, this is what I've been doing.
this what I've been doing, or Kyrie and Natasha don't give a fuck, so I ain't, this why. It works for us because we literally genuinely don't care about that stuff, because what we've built in our household is way, way stronger. Right. And we've had conversations that go into what loyalty means to us. You know what I'm saying? And for me, loyalty is the easiest thing in the world. Like I'm gonna just give this gem to the men. When I was really in the streets, and even though I'm telling women that I'm dealing with that, you know, I'm not necessarily interested in monogamy or being a one woman man or being in a relationship, I still had to sneak around, because women will say they with it, but they don't really want to see it or hear it or know about it. And now that causes turmoil. So my thing was always problems I don't need. I was like, I'm going to stay away from problems I don't need. I told her the truth. I told her I'm not her boyfriend. I'm not ready for none of that. But I'm going to do my best to make sure my house is clean when she come over, or I'm not just, you know, somebody else ain't talking to me while I'm talking to you, and all of the messy stuff. I wasn't messy, you know what I'm saying, on purpose.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that, like, I don't want y'all to think like, oh, do what the bays do. It works for the bays.
Yeah.
No, have a conversation early in your relationship and understand. I'm of the understanding, like, I can say what I want under somebody's photo, right? I'm not in the type of relationship that my woman is going to see that and be like, why you say that she was beautiful? Why you say you miss her? Why you say this and this and that? Like, if I miss her that much, I already told Natasha. And I might be trying to see what's up nowadays, or I might not be. But my woman already know.
Right.
So, and that's not going to work for everybody.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
And that's perfectly fine. And I think that the biggest takeaway from that is have the conversations with your partners. Have the conversations with someone that you're interested in. They may not even necessarily be your partner yet, but just that transparency up front early on, you will be surprised at the outcome. And if the outcome is not positive, then you might have not needed that person as your partner anywho. Because you don't want to just be walking around kind of limiting yourself and not
That's a big fact.
like not being allowed to be your true self, to express yourself in the way that you want, and have a partner or a mate that is basically cheering you on to do so.
Right.
That's the most important part. So whether it be the like or the comment, or you just like to spend 25 minutes in the bathroom in the morning, whatever your thing is, your partner needs to be on board with it, or they might not be your partner.
And that's just big facts. Like, I can only echo that by saying, like, it's crazy. We just spoke about it on the Pro Lover. And I was just telling folks, like, the person that I once was, I used to think there was no one for me. Like, because I wasn't willing to give up the freedom that I had and the interest and the yearn for other female experiences that I had. And it wasn't until I met you and I was honest about that I felt like, wow, like, I'm actually, like, free out here. Like, I'm in a relationship, but I still feel free. And the crazy part is,
that's an amazing.
I've said
component.
it on so many platforms that a long leash is a short leash.
Right. Because I was just going to say, like, free is, it means so much.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean I'm about to go sleep with a bunch of people. That's not free. I think what you're saying is you felt free to be Kyrie.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I felt free to,
Yep.
like, my expression toward women didn't have to change because now I'm in a relationship,
Exactly.
right? My behavior and my governance towards women outside of our relationship has definitely changed. But it changed because I respect you and we decided what loyalty and monogamy looks like for us.
Right.
Right? So that in itself, it's almost like I don't even use all of the freedoms, if you will, that we've talked about in our relationship. And we'll dig into those things in another episode. But I don't, because my mind right now anyway is very, very focused on our collective success and pushing us forward financially. But at the same time, I don't feel like that dog in a cage that's waiting to get out. I know that at any time, if I want to have some us fun, all I got to do is speak up. So that freedom just being within me and within us is enough for me to chill. And
It's huge, though.
I gotta say this, and I hate this gonna come off cocky, but I'm also a different type of individual. I've lived a different type of life.
But babe, you low key corny on social media, though.
I'm not corny on
You're
social
corny
media.
on
I'm
social
corny on social media now because I don't really care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't make me open my DMs up, dog.
I mean,
I'm out here
we don't
still.
see your DMs.
I'm out here still. Slide on me. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, what I'm saying is I've lived a life. I've lived a life. So when I say I'm a unique individual, it's like I also don't have a reason to chase anything.
Right.
And I know that. You know what I'm saying? But within our relationship and us just being different when it comes to sexuality and monogamy and loyalty and all of these types of things, it almost like gives me things to look forward to.
Sure.
But the difference is I don't look forward to them selfishly for me. It's like we talked about, and this is probably another show too, but just experiences. And like one of the ways that me and Natasha align is like neither of us are like gaudy individuals or like desire a mansion and a yacht and some huge chain or whatever it might be.
I'm not mad at a mansion or a yacht, but I don't need a chain.
Anywho, we ain't never getting no yacht, so get it out your mind.
I agree.
Maybe a larger than normal home,
Yeah.
but we ain't getting no mansion.
We don't need a yacht either. A boat purchase is actually probably one of the
It's
dumbest
one of the dumbest
purchases
things
you
in the
could
world.
make.
But anyway, we align in those ways is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
And we believe in experiences. We like to do things or people together.
Oh my gosh.
So we have the alignment internally that is what can we do next? Where can we go?
Yeah.
What experience can we have? And the fact that sexuality is a part of that for me and the person I used to be is just a beautiful thing. And I literally, we just said this on Pro Lover, I never thought I would meet someone as much like me in so many aspects as you are. Shit is mind-boggling. It's amazing.
I mean, I am pretty dope.
You
And,
are.
You know, let's not downplay now. Like, who you downplaying for?
I mean, you are.
Anywho, because you don't downplay me on social media. So that's another thing. Let's switch into that.
That's a good one to go to.
Yeah, like on social media, Kyrie is literally like, my partner is the shit all the time. And I'm like,
Right.
Thank you.
It ain't no secret. It ain't no secret that I got myself a Natasha.
Right. But so for those that are out there that might not be posting their partner,
Let's talk about it.
what does that look like?
Why ain't you? Why ain't you posting
And I'm
them?
asking you specifically because I know
A lot
of
of
your
people?
stories of you diverting the question of Well, I'm not on your social media, Kyrie.
Well,
Back in the day, not me.
you know
But what is that logic from a man's perspective?
number one, I think it's very different from a man's perspective and a woman's perspective.
Yeah, I know.
And my biggest thing was FOMO, just fear of missing out. My biggest thing was, if I have some lady gallivanting across my timeline, that may stop the next lady from gallivanting across my bedroom. So
fair enough.
It for me, it was very easy. It was like, I wanted to remain available,
or look available.
Look available in most women's eyes. So my thing was always, before us, I thought because I was telling the truth that it was okay to live the lifestyle that I was living. Mm-hmm. And I still believe that because I was telling the truth. And I went to therapy about that. I spoke to, a professional and was told, if it's a big difference between you just out here being a liar and breaking hearts and stealing hearts and doing all of that than you having a grown person conversation with a grown person, which I was.
Yeah.
So for me, not posting someone was purely like mysterious, remaining mysterious enough for me to be the forbidden fruit enough for somebody to be like, "Oh, let me see what's up with him."
Anyways, it makes sense though. Like I can see both sides of the coin. Now, from the female's perspective, it's twofold for me. So before you, I would post my significant other or, just give kudos or whatever on my page for their comfort and security, not mine.
That's a big one. So it's different types of gentlemen out here. It is,
and it's different types of reasonings for the posting from my perspective as a female. So that was it on that side. It's like, not only do I know what I look like, I know what I have going on, I understand that even in some cases, I might have been more established or just better at what I had going on than my partner. So it was a level of comfort to them in association with me. That's just life. Then, this is exactly why I told you to put it on Do Not Disturb.
Mind your business.
Because you get distracted.
Finish your point before you finish. You was making a good point. Leave me alone.
Then on the side of you.
But hold on, don't go that far because I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Did you feel obligated or compelled to because of just the look, or had men in your past made either subtle or bold comments about their lack of representation on your social media?
I think it's both. I think I am a person that's like, how do I be proactive about a situation before it gets to bite me in the ass? No pun intended. So I was like, okay, I'm going to post, I'm going to share, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And then I also had instances, or an instance specifically with a person that inquired, oh, well, why I'm not on your page or whatever. And, I'm like, it's not that deep, but I realize it's deep for certain people. So you can't just tell someone it's not that deep for you. Luckily, I have a partner where we both is like, it's not that deep. It's just an avenue. And honestly, it's an avenue for revenue generation most of the time in these cases. But nevertheless, it was deep to that person. So fine, you're on there. It's no worries, like whatever. But there are two types of men, or multiple types of men in that regard.
I care to
and
be posted
fine.
On your page. That I'll say.
Yes,
but
I will go back to you. When you finish your statement, I'll also let people know that I had to figure out how to incorporate Kyrie into my aesthetic.
So, yeah, she's big on aesthetic. So when I say I care, the reason I care, I'll explain. And you never... It never was. It's not about being insecure, and you never made me feel that way. I've always felt like people knew Natasha had a Kyrie. But the reason I care is directly tied to where we are as a population when it comes to social media right now, and what I would not be if Natasha were this type of young lady. we would not be sitting here is we go on vacation and all you see is a wrist or a flip flop or somebody cheersing you, and you know there's a guy, but he's never represented. That I personally feel like I know why, right? There's some guys out there who either aren't on social media or they ripping and running these streets they damn self, so they got whatever excuses that they telling their young lady as to why you can't post me and all of that. So I understand sometimes it's the dude requesting
keeping his options open.
Right. And I understand that some young ladies feel like, well, I don't want people in my business, but do you not? Because ain't you like creating
questions.
the questions and for people to become detectives and things like that?
We can see his Rolex. Sis.
All of that type of stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to post just enough for these bitches that know he getting a couple of dollars, but I ain't going to do nothing that identify him. And now you got people stretching the pictures and looking in the reflections and checking your glasses and all of that.
They do it every day on the Shade Room. Like, they're like, if two celebrities are on vacation together, they piece it until they make the full puzzle. And they're like, oh my gosh, these people are dating. They're on the same vacation.
And
like,
every
come
city,
on, y'all.
every city, like if it's somebody from Miami doing that, I'm not going to know. But for the most part, like Philly, like I could connect y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like if y'all both from here, like, and I'm not that invested in anybody's relationship to do the detective work. But I've seen it randomly before, like, oh, you in Tahiti. Scroll. What's he doing in Tahiti too? Scroll. Oh, y'all at the same? Oh, well, that's their business.
Yep,
you know
exactly. Move
like,
on.
and it's funny to me, but I also feel like if you're in a real relationship like we are, and your partner's doing that, I feel like that's hella disrespectful. Like my thing would be like, look, either don't post me at all, or we out here. And again, that's a conversation to be had.
Of course.
Right? Like why you ain't posting me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care in the form of like we live in our everyday day to day and like just nothing, there's no reason to post me, right? But what we do is very organic. Like if we look nice or Natasha pick matching outfits or whatever it might be, or we somewhere in the bays is the basin, you know, she'll throw up a photo. Cool. And I pretty much do the same thing. Like I do my Taj Tuesday post every now and again and give her flowers and things like that. It ain't no day that start with a K, so I'm leave you off the hook for that. But you might gotta lose my last name and do like Terrell Thursdays or something like that and start posting me. But yeah, I don't care for things like that. And even with my kids, it's like I don't post them all the time, but when like, oh, that's a dope picture, we having some fun. I think I put Knox up today from the joint when we was at the Washington Monument. He's standing in my hand. Like the spirit moves me. Right. Like I'm gonna post. You know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's the forced.
Yes.
It's
the forced, not forced. It's like I'm gonna definitely post, but it's just his pinky. Like, come on, sis, you better not do that to me. I don't even care if I'm your side joint. Post me.
No, ain't nobody posting their side joint.
They can't post me as their side joint?
Hell no.
Can I post my side joint?
No.
All right. Well, sorry, y'all.
But so that was that side of it. And then with you, it felt organic to your point, but it also, there was no pressure around it. It was like, I wasn't damned if I do or damned if I don't type of thing. It just was like, I want to celebrate this union and its magic. And I don't remember feeling that way in the past. So
would you care if I didn't post you?
No.
You wouldn't even care?
No.
If I never was like, this me in the bay.
No. I never asked you to. That you totally took that on your own, and you.
That shit was weird when it first happened. Yeah, too. Everybody who knew me was like,
yeah, I never asked
you
to. I never went into the relationship with that expectation because I was very much like, I'm already over here doing my thing. I'm not like, I don't need to incorporate my social media life into your life because that's not life to me. That's work to me.
Right.
It's always been work to me.
And it's also kind of fake.
I try not to be fake. I
it's-
just use it for work. So my page is very much just, travel and lifestyle.
No, I'm not saying you being fake. I'm saying it's fake when people are like, I got somebody, so I should. Right? Because what was your relationship before social media? Right? Because the difference is like when we go places and we're out together, like we not the couple that holds hands. Like we might be embraced at certain points or at a beach or something and grab each other's hand and things like that. But we've never been like the couple that like I think our social media kind of says we are. Like
It don't really say
like
that.
we love
Our
on each
pages
other.
are very individual still. Like we pop up on each other's pages every now and
No,
then.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like when we do pop up, I feel like I don't know. They gotta tell us in the comments, I guess. I feel like we be seeming like we like real lovey-dovey all the time. Like I think
First
if we
of
put
all,
up a poll and we was like,
You are real lovey-dovey
I
all
know
the
I
time.
am.
So then there's why
I'm
it seems that
saying
way.
if
You
we-
are that bull.
you think if we put up a post and we was
A
like
poll?
a poll, do the bays hold hands when they go out? I think like 80% would be like yes, but we don't.
Put it up on the Bay brand.
And sometimes when we out, like we not like out like we go to the gym or we just run errands and things like that. I mean, we not like I don't think we like lovey-dovey in public all the time.
No, but I mean, I think that is a matter of the individuals, and it's a matter of the love language, and
Well, I was saying it more so about like what's your real relationship versus your social media presence.
true, yes,
Because I think
there
people
are
fake it.
There's I was gonna say there is the opposite where people are like always doing all X Y Z in person, but have no presence on social media
Right.
too. So you're like, well, are they together? Do they
Right.
like each other?
And you know, I've
But
used,
they're thriving in regular life,
Right.
if you will. I say regular life, but it's like
and that's some people's choice.
Yes.
Some people probably look at the Bays page and be like, I would never post Rashida like that. I'm not going out.
or they look at our page and go, they can't always be that damn happy together.
That too.
And I'm here to tell you, we actually are.
We talk about it all the time about why is we still this in love
Yeah.
and giddy over one another because
Actually kind of sickening if I was looking on the outside in. Like, all right, y'all.
all right, y'all.
Y'all so damn happy.
Right,
Like,
right.
but we really are.
But, and it's definitely a joy. It's a mystery and a miracle
Mystery and a
at
miracle.
the same time. Because I mean, we talk about it all the time, and I'm sure people can relate that we ain't really never liked nobody this long.
Right.
Like this much, this long.
Right. Like
know
you
what I'm
like
saying?
people. But after a while you be like, all right, I mean,
Yeah,
I'll make time for you. Making time.
the honeymoon phase wears off,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think again, one of the things we discussed early in our relationship,
a
and
lot of things that we discussed early on. Too.
we're gonna have a lot of episodes, but
But also they're in season 1.
there's some stuff is in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all could go back and watch Oh That's Love. But you remember I told you I do not want to get into a relationship if we cannot sustain the honeymoon phase. That was so very important to me because I think a lot of people's relationships die off because you go into them without a target, right? You don't have a thing that we're going to work toward. And one of those, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that was the first time ever that
As someone said that to you.
like just someone came to me with intention.
Right.
Like that set the tone in my
Cause I'm that
opinion.
nigga now who knew.
Great. But it really did. And honestly, as your woman, I keep that in the back of my mind. I keep that like as something that I always am working toward. Even if I get a little bit annoyed, I recognize that we can bounce back.
Like
from
every
this.
day when you get annoyed?
Well, yeah.
Like when you're hungry?
But we can bounce back because
We definitely can.
our goal is bliss.
And we haven't.
And it's a real goal and it's real attainable.
Right. It's very attainable. And I think
Yeah.
that's the problem with a lot of people going into relationships. They're not going into them, one, like we talked about earlier in the show, complete honesty about who I am, right? Not just sexually, but as a person and as a business person and as a mother and as a father and as a friend and all of these things. You gotta be honest about who you are as a person, right? And then you have to know that finance and sexuality are the two things that keep people getting divorced.
Yeah.
So those are the first two things that y'all gotta align with, right? You gotta figure out a way, and do not go by societal norms. Everybody doesn't fit into those same boxes. You have to decide what's important for you and what's important for your partner, and y'all have to find a median to meet at that works for you guys, right? But where I was going down the sustaining the honeymoon phase was, I am very, very interested in atypical practices, right? Shout out to the Pro Lover Show. The Pro Lover Show is dedicated toward atypical love life lessons. So my thing was, when I get into a relationship, this is before I met me and Natasha, everybody always would say, well, you know, the honeymoon phase wears off. The honeymoon phase wears off. You ain't always going to be as loved with that person, and y'all ain't always going to be as happy as you were in those first 2 weeks or 2 months or 3 years or however it might be. It always wears off. And I started to see, like, you know, on social media and different shows or programs I was watching, I started to see like old couples with like that twinkle still in their eye.
This is what Kyrie does when his hands are cold. Go ahead.
Don't let them mind my business.
They probably was like, what is happening?
I love you. This is a love grab.
Okay.
My hands is a little bit cold.
They
though.
are. I can feel them through my jeans.
Anywho, I started to see this twinkle in people's eyes and stuff. And I started to be like, this couple had to be together 30 years, 50 years, 60 years, and they still got it. And I was like, you know what? I'm changing my mind. People always talk about change your thoughts, change your mind. I said, I'm changing my thoughts, I'm changing my mind. The honeymoon phase can be sustained. That's what I'm putting into the universe. And when I meet a young lady who is thebomb.com, like natasha.org, I am going to say to her, baby, listen, I want to be with you, but we have to work towards sustaining the honeymoon phase, right? We have to make sure that we never get out of that phase.
Right.
And I think, like you just mentioned, it's a day-to-day process, right? But even within like us disagreeing and us having fights or arguments, if you will, we've never had one about nothing ground shaking.
Right.
Like it's
earth shattering.
It's mainly I ain't put no toilet paper back.
Oh, Jesus.
Or like this morning when I didn't tell you I had a Zoom, like before we left the house. Like Natasha gets so mad over the littlest stuff. And
rather the little things than, will those be the earth shattering things in my world?
Right.
Than things that are actually earth shattering.
But you remember, like we talked about that early on, right? And it was because one of the things I brought up was I said, if these the arguments that we gonna have, nigga, sign me up, because I've had worse. You know what I'm saying? But we also had to talk about what Natasha does is, and you've gotten a lot better with this. I'll give you your kudos, because what she used to do, I'll say.
I don't know what you're about to say.
Because we didn't have anything to argue about, the little dumb stuff was like really big arguments to her.
No.
And I'd be like, babe,
No.
there's no toilet paper on the road. What are you? Calm down. Like, just talk to me. Have a conversation.
So that's not fair, because what's little to you does not mean it has to be little to me, and vice versa.
To a certain
toilet
extent.
paper on the roll is a big deal to me. But it's not necessarily just toilet paper on the roll. Where it triggers me is because there is a reminder of transition. Because I have been by myself for 10 years, living by myself before you. Maybe 11, I don't know. But still, so it's like, you know me, you know how I am about my things, my space, like
right.
all of those things. So the toilet paper is triggering me because I'm just like, this is now a shared space that I agreed to. But I'm like,
before we wrap.
Just replace the toilet paper if you grab the last piece.
Damn the replacement. I'm going to tell y'all what we really argue about in our house.
Why are you laughing? And how do we get here from social media?
Because we got to wrap the show up soon, but we'll do our final thoughts on the social media. But first, I got to tell y'all that we always argue about this. When I go to the bathroom, I use a lot of toilet paper.
Because
Natasha
it's ridiculous.
Can't stand it.
Because it's not Scott. Like, I specifically buy Charmin, the extra plush, which means you need less because it's plush.
She like to tell me how much
the
tissue
amount of that you
I
would
need
if it was Scott.
You not in there with me, baby. It be going down in there.
Oh God.
It be going down. I need a little bit more toilet paper than you need.
I realize that a lot of the
arguments in our house revolve around the bathroom. Because the rags on the shelf, the rag shelf.
The solution is I will have my own quarters and bathroom.
Yes, when we move, and you're gonna have your own toilet paper too.
Yes,
and I can have my own, and you're not gonna say nothing.
Don't come in my bathroom.
So I can use much tissue as I want in my bathroom.
You also will purchase your own tissue.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, we got to get separate bathrooms ASAP, baby.
Yeah, because this is ridiculous.
We got to do that. Yes. But to take us out of here, you start, baby, on the wrap up about how these folks need to reapproach and reimagine their partners and their love life on social media.
I think the moral of the story is know your partner. Like, you can't go wrong, and you can't be swayed by the audience of social media if you know your partner's intentions. I truly think that is the gold. If you are unsure of your partner's intentions, if you're unsure of how they move, if you have any questions or concerns of your own, then those will permeate the way in which you view their social media activity. So there's some things that you would need to address at home before you go in just being upset that they like someone's photo. Like, it's Instagram, that's what we're supposed to do. Like, it's about likes and engagement. We're trying to get our followers up. I'm giving you a like, it's cool.
Right.
But if I don't think that your intentions are pure, then my reactions will say so. Right. Yeah.
And I would just say that actions are what you got to base your, feelings on, not words or likes. And I hate to say that because it sounds like I'm trying to exonerate no good niggas for their behaviors. But what I really mean is, what is your man doing in the household? How is your man treating you? And also, who is your man? And that's the hard part, because everybody's not being honest about who they are. But if you can at least identify with who your person is, right? And you've crossed the threshold of, I want to be with this person for the rest of my life. That's where acceptance has to come into play. And I think I've never had to ask Natasha for acceptance. I've always been me. We've never had a conversation that was like, babe, you got to compromise who you really are. One of the things that I am is a flirt. One of the things that I am is a ladies' man. That doesn't mean that I can't carry a successful relationship with a woman who knows who she got, right? And I get to live a life that makes me feel free, right? And she's still respected, even though it might look disrespectful to you. She already know, and she already understands. And what is disrespect in one person's household isn't disrespect in another's, right? Because there's something else that I could bring up. We ain't got no showtime that Natasha sees as disrespect that I'm sure is going down in a lot of y'all households, and y'all like, oh, child, please, he can do that whenever he want. But that's a whole nother show. But I've learned to respect that about her, you know what I'm saying? And we will talk about that, because that is a whole nother topic. But that's the main thing. What is your person doing? What does their actions look like? Yeah. Because, for some people, social media is just a fantasy. And you'd be surprised how much the release of some of those, emotions, that's why people argue on Facebook all day, right? That ain't got nothing to do with sex, but they feel a way when they get to get it off, you know what I'm saying? So you'd be surprised how therapeutic and how beneficial to your relationship that fantasy could be. Yeah. Right? But don't be like the bays, be like yourself. Figure out what works for you and your relationship.
But have the conversation.
Have the conversation early. Don't spring that shit on nobody 2-3 years down the line.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, I think we should try this. Play it. It ain't going down.
You can try. You can really try. It's a little harder to convince, but also you never know. That person also would have.
They might have changed too.
Dang, I thought you'd never.
I thought you were never gonna say.
You just gotta have the conversation.
That's why a safe space is important.
Beware and be comfortable.
You might get a table thrown at
if
you.
you get the answer that you want or the answer that you don't.
Yeah. Risk takers. Before we go, tell the people what your upcoming trip is.
Yes. So the Bays are heading to Bali. Technically, Travel Guys International is heading to Bali this summer. But Kyrie's joining, so the Bays are going.
This is news to me.
No, it's not news. Somebody has to film it.
I'll be there.
Anyways,
see how she used me?
Yeah,
just straight snatch my services. Just snatch.
You get to go on vacation, right?
I better be getting some extra yams.
Right. The services,
need yams on top of yams for my free services.
Are equal. Nevertheless,
equal to what?
Join us in Bali, Travel Guys International group trip. I am going to Greece in May, but that trip is sold out.
Booked it.
So
you should have came to Greece. She already booked it. Now you got to meet us in Bali.
Link in bio. We'll see you in Bali.
That's it then, man. We filming down here at Potty Time. So I always got to plug Potty Time, the full service podcasting facility that we're filming inside of. Check us out on pottytime.com or pottytimephilly@gmail. I'm sorry, pottytimephilly on Instagram. What am I talking about? To get your podcast book, man. I'm Kyrie Terrell. This is the lovely Natasha.
Soon to be Natasha Terrell.
Oh, soon to be. Don't miss my kiss. We out of here on Oh That's Love, man. Thank y'all for watching.